Joe Rogan thing?
Well, I don't personally watch Joe Rogan.
It's literally like a fade in of audio of just people talking.
Okay, so then I guess just start conversation and then we'll go into it. Like we'll just start talking and then that's whenever you just pick whatever.
I mean, yeah. Well, first I'm going to ask you how your internship's going because you want to be athletic director.
Yeah. It's fine. I can't complain right now. I don't do a lot of stuff on my own. I'm just mainly like right now I do what I'm told. Mm-hmm. I love it though. I can't complain. Like it's really opened my eyes, I guess you could say. Just for what I want to do with the future, and honestly, it's just insane how many kids get ISS. Because oh my gosh, I've been sitting in that room for the past like 3 weeks now, and that room's almost filled every day.
Wow,
it's insane. But I know I love the internship. I can't complain. Mr. Bear's awesome. Mr. Blue Ball's awesome.
That's what I was gonna ask. Is Travis your main guy that you usually go to for it, or?
No, it's usually Mr. Bear because he spends most of his time whenever he has it to work on athletic director stuff, and then Mr. Blue Ball is the main. He's the face of the athletic department. Yeah. So for like the big things like people signing their contracts, purchasing things, it'll usually go through him. Yeah. But Mr. Bear does a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, is what he refers to it. So like. We use a website called Arbiter where we put all of the events and whatever, like teams, workers for events. So like he's the one that handles most of that stuff. So that's what I've been doing. I just help him out with that. And
I was gonna say, I usually see you walking around all the sporting events, and I guess you just sit in the ISS thing. You kind of just go over what Travis does. He just kind of explains what you do.
I mean, not really. Like I'm just kind of there and. Like I said, I just do what I'm told. So, like, he tells me to go on Arbiter and put in the roster for baseball the other day. So, I got a list of names that made varsity, went in the Arbiter, clicked on the varsity team, and just added players.
Yeah, he gave you access to that.
Yeah, that was really cool because I get to see, like, everything. And just getting to learn the new technology has been really fun.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the reason I have you on the show today is you know a lot about sports because you want to be an athletic director, so that's why I have you on for obvious reasons. And I just have a few questions for you. First of all, you're an NBA guy. Or semi-was.
A little bit, yeah. I follow it.
Semi-was. One of the first things I wanted to talk about was there's a huge problem in the NBA right now where I saw a stat where it was 50% of viewers are down right now.
Wow.
And they basically said, like, yeah, we're not getting enough hype around it. One of the reasons it may be too many games, but it doesn't seem that bad. It's not like the MLB where it's 162 games. You could miss half of them and still make the playoffs. It doesn't matter like that. There's been a lot of talk where they did a bunch of stats on it, and they said, well, everybody's shooting threes because it's the most points for, I guess, most road, and people are just getting automatic with it.
Steph Curry effect.
Yeah, exactly. The Steph Curry effect. And then people are just handed to the big man in the paint. There's no, like, mid-range jumpers. There's not any, like, razzle-dazzle to any of these players anymore. And they keep talking about, like, all right, what can we do to try to add, like, make the game more interesting, for example, right? Some people have said at a 4-point line, I don't think that would fix the problem because it's just the same thing as the 3-point line, right?
People are getting bothered by the 3. I mean, I don't think the 4 is going to make it better.
Yeah, and then other people were saying, like, okay, change the rules a little bit. Don't change the refs where it's like, hey, they're not as... like, hey, technical foul or whatever, like make them, like, they say 90s basketball a little bit more. What do you think would be the answer? Because I don't think adding a 4-point line would do anything, me personally.
It's insane to me because I saw something on Instagram one time and it made a lot of sense. So, like, now the NBA, they just make it so hard to watch their games. Mm-hmm. So, like, there's ABC and TNT is usually what it's on or whatever. But, like, now, most games, you can't even get access across the United States on a normal, like, Wednesday night. They now have NBA League Pass that you have to pay $30 a month for. And it's just really inconvenient, and people don't want to pay that money just to watch one game a night. Like,
no, I have my YouTube TV. I guess I get most of the local games, but I don't get the one across the world.
Exactly. You know? Like, unless it's the primetime game at 10 o'clock, like Lakers versus Suns or something.
Yeah.
Like, you're most likely not going to get it. Like, I'm a Bucks fan.
Mm-hmm.
Every night I try and watch the Bucks. I either need to be in the area or I need to have League Pass because it's not anywhere close to us.
Yeah.
So, like, I think they just need to make it more accessible for people because right now, of course you're going to lose viewership because you can't get people to watch. You're making it impossible for them to watch because no one wants to spend a bunch of money to do that. Like, it's stupid.
I think that's tough. I think they should try because it's CBS, it's Fox trying to stream it, it's ESPN. They're all trying to get a piece of the NBA kind of like money part aside to it, the business part aside to it. I feel like if they were to say, all right, we're going to go with ESPN. If they could get ESPN to cover most of the stuff, they could do ESPN Plus. Same thing you're talking about, where it's one, if they wanted to do the membership, it's one membership through everything. It's not like you got to do it through YouTube TV or Comcast or anything like that. That's what the NFL has. They have the NFL Sunday ticket where you can get all of the games on Sunday for, I think it was like $400, which if you do the math, if you're going to watch most of the games, you're going to get your money's worth.
Exactly.
So I feel like that would be a good answer. You think they should add or change any rules to it or change the officiating?
I've seen some stuff about like contracts and like how it's hard to get big names in. Because like you see baseball, they don't have a salary cap. NFL and NBA do. Baseball, it's whoever has a rich owner. If you can afford the guy, go on, bring him in and pay him $900 million for 17
It's the Ohtani
years.
thing where they can just bring him in for $700 million.
Exactly. So like those big markets are going to get more people. Like LA, obviously they're going to be able to afford more because that's just a whole different ball game out there. No pun intended. But like, yeah, like it's just, I don't know.
It's not fair.
So, because there's contract stuff. That's the only thing I can think about changing because it's just hard to like sign because they have like super max deals and whatnot. It's just hard to get multiple high talent players on a roster and make it interesting for a guy. Like no one wants to watch who's a random in the NBA. Like I don't even know.
I'm trying to think of someone that's not a star like Jokic or Harden. Someone like Mitchell.
Not Donovan.
Not Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell's actually be going very, very hard recently.
Who's a bum in the NBA? Either way, nobody wants to go out and just watch that guy. Like they want to see high-scoring, fun games.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I guess if you ask the right person, they might say, "No, I like watching them play defense and being under 100 points."
Exactly. Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think that's a whole different ball game, and like it's just hard to fix that.
You know, I saw over Thanksgiving James Harden play against the Wizards, and I saw what people were talking about where they don't want to see a game where it's just three-pointers. The Wizards, I think that night, at halftime at least, they went 1 for 20.
Wow.
In three-pointer shots. And then by the end of the game, I think they had like 6 for 30 or whatever the heck it was. It was just boring. Everybody, and the entire stadium was just pissed off at him. And then here comes James Harden, who actually has some skill to him and dropped 35 in the first half.
Yeah.
So he has a little bit of razzle-dazzle, which I was like, oh yeah, this makes sense. People would watch him, but they ain't going to watch some random Washington team for this reason.
They don't want to watch someone dribble up the court, throw up a three, and absolutely miss.
Exactly. And they don't, to their credit, they don't have a star player. It might be CP3 is their best player on that team, but
I think now, because is Poole still on the Wizards?
He might, but I think he's benched right now.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. That guy fell off.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of other players, the trade between, this is a big topic and everybody else has already had their opinion on it, but the Luka and then the Luka trade basically.
Yeah.
He's doing amazing with the Lakers right now.
Yeah.
I think they're third in their conference. I'm going to pull it up. I need Jamie.
Honestly, I think they're second now. I think they're just behind, no, because I think it's OKC 1 and Minnesota.
Well, I can pull it up right now. I need a Jamie. I need someone else to be my Jamie, like a Joe Rogan podcast right now. Cavs are number 1. They already clinched the playoffs, and
that's the Eastern Conference.
Well, that's Eastern, yeah. OKC first, and the Lakers are third.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's doing very well. I don't think they got it in it for a championship though.
You don't think they're making it?
No, because I'm seeing other players. And listen, this is not because I'm biased. Jimmy Butler might be that guy.
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler might be that guy. Listen.
There's actually no way you just said those words.
He is 12-2 since he joined the Warriors, man. Even though they're doing better, I don't think they're going to win a championship. But I'm looking at a team like that, and I'm also looking at someone like a Cavs team. They already clinched the playoffs, and they've had 10 losses.
The Lakers are like, I just saw a stat the other day on Instagram. They're 12-0 against teams over 500 in the past 2 months.
True.
They just lost the first one to the Celtics, the reigning NBA champions.
Yeah.
Like, LeBron's playing insane at 40 years old.
Stanley Clip. He's averaging 40. Like that kind of thing. Yeah.
Like, Shannon Sharp said the other day, USA, PGA, I don't even know what the other thing was. Lakers in five. And I stand by that statement. The Lakers, they're good.
I think, I won't deny they're good. I just don't think they're going to win a championship.
I don't know. I could see them going all the way.
I guess I could, but I just feel like there's just going to be another team that pulls it out in a game 6 or game 7.
Yeah, it's a gauntlet, especially in the West. They got to get through OKC and Denver. And I mean, the Warriors are coming back now. They were in a little bit of a slump, but since getting Jimmy Butler, like they're on the come up.
They were. So they were 11th. I think February 8th is when the trade happened, and then now they're 6th.
All right, so I mean, it's going better, but like, I'm excited to see how the rest of the season plays out. There's 2 months until playoffs? Not even?
I think, usually playoffs start in April, and then I know the finals are beginning of June. I just remember that from like past years and stuff like that. Yeah, I feel like they need to shorten
the multiple games.
Series. It's the same thing in the MLB. I can't stress this enough. The MLB wonders why the stadium is empty for one of their home games or whatever the heck, because there's 162 of them plus playoffs. They don't need as much. I feel like that was the other thing. MLB ratings have been down, and they tried to do the thing with the pitch clock.
Yeah.
Whatever the heck it was, where it's like, hey, the pitcher can't take hours and hours and hours for them to throw a pitch. Excuse me. And it kind of fixed the problem. The games go way faster. It's a little bit more interesting. But it's the same kind of thing. They're wondering why their in-person ratings aren't as good. Well, there's 162 chances for you to see the guy.
Yeah.
And there's plus playoffs if they even make it. My grandfather is a Washington Nationals fan, and he's a diehard fan. He watches all the games and stuff like that, but he just gets bored of them sometimes. Yeah. He's sick of seeing the exact same thing. Their team sucks right now, but but besides that, he just goes, I can't stand to watch any more baseball anymore because it's just boring.
Yeah. I feel like my thing is, like, if you're not at the game, like in the stadium, it's impossible to watch a whole baseball game.
Yeah.
I sat down and watched a couple Orioles games last season because they were actually getting better, and then decided to choke in the playoffs again and not want to hit. But I would always end up just watching Instagram or TikTok on my phone. Yeah. But I went to a game over the summer. I was engaged in watching it the entire time because there's stuff going on. It's better. This environment and situation is better than just sitting on your couch watching.
Mm-hmm. It's completely different.
Yeah.
Same thing in the NBA. I just don't want to see a bunch of people put up 3-pointers the entire time. If I'm at the game, it might be a little bit more interesting, but it's not the same. MLB, I think it should be 99 games.
Yeah, 162. I can't think of a single reason for there to be the 162 games.
No.
Besides money, but even then, there's no way that's like making them that much.
Well, the other incentive is it's like usually teams play a 3 or 4 game series, or over a course of a week or something like that.
Yeah, it's 3 game series. They usually do at least 2 a week.
Yeah, when you lose as a player, like take the Phillies for example. Like I'm just using Bryce Harper because I know him. I don't know that much about baseball. When you take a guy like him, and he's like they lost a game by 1. That is nothing to him because there's 161 other games for them to do well. And it seems like in the MLB, as at least of right now, as long as you're above, like, if you have a winning record, you'll make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, especially depending on it's really dependent on the conference. Like, I know the AL East last year, they had 3 or 4 teams over 500. Only 2 of them made the playoffs, I think. I think it was the O's and the Yankees, I think. I'm
pulling it up. I need Jamie, like a Joe Rogan kind of thing. I might need to call someone up about that. Yeah, their conferences are just, is this still preseason or is the actual season?
Yeah, they're still in spring training right now. I think first pitch or opening day is
end of March,
end of March, early April, I think
so. Because I remember last year's being like March 20-something or whatever.
Yeah. So I think they're closing up spring training a little bit. I think they'll have like 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
Make final roster decisions, and then they move into official games. Mm-hmm. So.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, and I can see the conferences. Yeah, for most of them, I mean, I guess I could go to... It says regular season. I guess when the actual season starts, I can go by conference and American League and stuff like that. But I saw last year, it was mostly the people that had a winning record, you were going to make playoffs.
Yeah.
But the other teams, I'm looking at the other teams that are losing record. They were losing by 20 games.
Exactly.
So
like, there's just no point. Like, there's no way of coming back from that. Like,
no.
The big thing is people always say the best baseball is October baseball or whatever. You're getting into March to September and playoff baseball. Those are the games that matter. And then it's just like, all right, why'd you play the whole season before? Like, it's boring.
Yeah.
Like, especially, like, talking about getting bored watching games. No one's going to watch in the maybe early April, but, like, once it gets in the summer, like June and July.
It's boiling hot.
Yeah, it's
everywhere
boiling
you
hot.
go.
Nobody wants to watch mid-season baseball right now because you just don't know what could happen. Like, there's still so much mystery in the season.
And it's also a whole other thing where it's like, again, we keep going back to this point. If you lose a game, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Now, if you're losing 10 games in a row, you got a problem. But it's just like the NFL right now. There's 17 games for a reason because every single game matters.
Exactly.
Every single one of those guys play their heart out, and all these MLB players really don't start trying till the later half of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like having a series of games just kind of makes it feel less important. NFL, there's one game for the Super Bowl. You lose that, you lost. Like, there's nothing.
Yeah.
In the MLB, you got a best of 7 series. You lose one game, go on and win the next 4. You win in 5. Like, it's just, it kind of, I don't know what the correct wordage would be, but, like, it's not as important or meaningful, I feel like.
For baseball, especially for the NBA, I get why they do series of games, because for basketball, it's so, at least for I'd like to believe it to be back and forth. Oh, someone makes the lucky game winner of a 3 when it's 125 to 123 or something like that. Okay, yeah, I get the 7-game series or whatever the heck, but for MLB, I could see maybe doing 3-game series, not a whole 7-game series.
So there's no need for 7.
No.
There's absolutely no. That's something, if I was, like, commissioner of the MLB or something, get rid of 7-game series. You, like, early rounds of the playoffs, do best of 3. For the NLCS, whatever the champion, the World Series, you do 5-game series. The first of 3 wins the entire thing. If you want to do a series that bad and get multiple games in and get those views up, do that. But 7 games, like, there's no point.
Would you get rid of preseason games? I'm just talking about the professional sports in general, because I know that's a big topic for the NFL. Whereas getting rid of the 3 preseason games, because one, no one really goes to it. Secondly, they don't matter in the grand scheme of games. It's not like your actual record where it's the 17 games. Baseball, I see no point. You're just adding to 162. I don't know. I guess some people may go for spring training just to see, hey, how's the rookie doing? But
yeah. So, like, and it's kind of the same thing with the NFL. Like, yes, you're not making that much money or getting that much attendance at a preseason game, but that's not why they're doing it. They're making a little money on the side, but really they're watching the players on the field, seeing who's going to be valuable to that team and who's going to help out.
Yeah.
I think with spring training for MLB, I think it's a little, like... But there is a lot of guys, because they're pulling from what? There's single A, double A, and triple A.
Yeah, they're pulling from
a lot of places to see where they've got talent. So, like, I guess I can see why that one goes longer, but, like...
See, in my opinion, right, if you were going to do the whole preseason thing, do 1 game. I use NFL as the biggest example because I get why there's 3, but the starters aren't playing. So, like, let's say you have the preseason games. I guess you're playing your 3rd string or 2nd string, right?
Yep.
1, it's not interesting. I guess the business side of it doesn't really matter because they make enough money off the 17 games. But when you look at it, you're thinking, oh, okay, this 3rd string person is doing great against the other 3rd string people. That doesn't really tell me how it's going to look against starters.
Yeah.
Your defensive lineman is not going to... You're not going up against a Lamar Jackson. You're going up against... Who's their backup?
Right now, I think it's Josh Johnson.
Who's the first guy that it was?
It used to be Tyler Huntley.
Tyler Huntley, yeah. You're not going up against Tyler Huntley. Like... Or I guess you are, but it's not the same thing as Lamar Jackson where it's just a different game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see that one go either way. Like, there's different reasons for it to be beneficial or harmful to the viewer or the team itself. I don't know. Because, they're getting to see those guys in action, but, like, it's not entertaining. The viewers don't want to see that.
Yeah. The other reason, I have one other point to make on that is when you look at I keep using the NFL because I think they've mastered having 17 games, right?
Yeah.
If they had more, the players would not have much of an incentive to do their absolute freaking best, right? For 162 games, most of those star players will try. They're not going to go all out for it because, one, they have so many games to do. They can't just blow all their energy on one and then the very next day have nothing else to show for the next game. But if I was a player on the MLB, I'd be looking halfway through the season, okay, do we look good? Do we not do good? Oh, if we're not doing good, then I'm just giving up the rest of the season. Yeah. I got my money, I'm leaving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they look at it halfway through the season, they say, oh, we're doing good, barely trying. Oh, okay, we can make the playoffs and we can actually probably win the finals or the World Series, right?
Yeah.
For NFL, they're looking at those guys and say, listen, we got 17 games, we got 17 tries. We have to absolutely play our best every single one of those times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, same thing for NBA. The star players like to sit out for those games because, one, there's so many, they can just take rest days, but it's not that big of an incentive. If there was 30 games in the NBA, those things would be sold out. There would be just the players would want to play. It's basically what I'm saying. They would want to play every single minute of every single game. You know what I mean?
You don't feel as incentivized or wanting to play all of those games, but NFL, there's 17. You got to go out there and make it count. 12-5 might not even get you in the playoffs anymore. We saw that last year with the NFC North, I think.
Yeah.
Lions were 14-3. I'm pretty sure the Packers were 11-6, and then who else is in there?
It was
Vikings.
The Vikings and the Lions
went 15-2.
They had to fight for the number 1 seed because they were both 15-2.
Yeah.
Which was insane to me, and I didn't understand. That was crazy to me, where they have to fight over that, and they only lost 2 games.
Yeah, you can be 3 games over 500 in the NFL and still not make it. So that's that just shows the show. Every game means something. Maybe all right, week 1 you drop one, but you can go on and win the next 16. But I don't know. I just think across the season, those games are more important than mid-July. Baseball.
I'm looking at the last year's stats. Detroit went 15-2. Philadelphia went 14-3. They won the Super Bowl. And then it went 10-7 for Bucks, 10-7 for the Rams. Minnesota had to take the wild card spot because I guess the Detroit Lions and Vikings are in the same division. They went 14-3. Yep. Commanders went 12-5 because the Eagles had a better record, and then Green Bay had 11-6. Seattle was eliminated when they had 10-7. So it's the winning record is not going to get you in the playoffs anymore.
Yeah, you got to be the best.
Yeah,
you can't be middle of the pack team anymore. You got to be in it or you're out.
Yep. Chargers were a first round exit and they went 11-6.
Yeah,
it's not enough anymore.
Chargers are terrible.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on that.
Well, they're making a little bit of an off-season appearance, I guess, if you call Najee Harris trade something.
Najee Harris,
a 1-year deal for $9 million, baby.
Ravens just signed DeAndre Hopkins earlier today.
Oh, all right? Christ, here we go.
We're back. We're going on a run. All right, I'm calling 13-4 season next year. Lamar finishes second in MVP to Jaden Daniels.
You think Jaden Daniels is going to?
I think Jaden Daniels. I mean, I'm saying that, but he could have a sophomore slump like C.J. Stroud did. He did nothing this year. He was also. I don't know what he's going to do next year. They traded away Laramie Tunsil yesterday.
Yeah.
For nothing, basically. Just traded away Kenyon Green, his guard. This man is going to be running for his life next season.
Yeah.
They've done one thing to try and help that situation, and I don't see it going well for them.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, I'm a Steelers fan, and Ian here is a Ravens fan, so we're kind of go back and forth between teams. But in the grand scheme of things, I know that the Ravens are better than the Steelers at this moment of time, just looking at the roster now.
And will always be.
No, hold on.
What happened last season?
No, there was the DK trade. Now I have a few things to say on this, right? And I know there's a lot of Steelers fans where we grew up, so they all have their own opinions. A lot of people just immediately said last year, fire Tomlin. After going up. That's what my dad thinks right now. He just goes, Tomlin's been doing the exact same thing for 17 years. He gets the winning record, and then he just first-round exit.
Stops coaching.
Exactly. He stops coaching in November. It's if you look at it for the last 5 years, it looks like he stopped coaching in November when the holidays hit.
Mm-hmm.
Because they always can go, what would it be at that point, 6-2 or something like that?
It would be November.
Would it be week 8?
September. you'd be getting around week 8, week 9. You're getting halfway through the season.
Yep. So around halfway through the season, week 8, week 9, they get 6-2, 7-2, and then they lose 5 in a row.
Yeah.
For the last 5 years, and it's
somehow
just
squeak out another 2 wins.
they
Sneak into the playoffs.
They squeak out
first round exits.
the 2 wins, and they get the first round playoffs, and then they just lose. Because we're always last, so we always play number 2 seed. Because I guess now the number 1 is the only one they get to buy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking at it right now. An hour ago, DeAndre Hopkins agreed to deal with the Ravens. It says 1 year, $5 million.
Yep. And then I think up to $6 million in like incentives or something.
You think he'll start?
Yeah. I don't know. He'll probably. No, I don't think he'll start. He'll probably. Zay Flowers is going to be number 1 guy. Rashad Bateman had a breakout year last year. I don't know. He'll probably take the role of Nelson Aguilar because I don't think they're bringing him back. But
does he still have a contract? Is he still in free agency, or is he?
I mean, so tampering period just started yesterday for NFL. I don't think they've had any conversations with him. There's a chance they bring him back, but I think with this signing of DeAndre now, I don't see it happening. I think that's who they're going to roll with wide receiver 3. They got Devontae Walker out of UNC that they got in the draft last year. Mm-hmm. He had a good rookie year. I don't know. It's just I could see it going either way with this with this team. They could go 14-3. They could go 7-9 or whatever, 7-10.
Yeah, It's funny. ESPN has like a live tracker to see what happens during these like free agency. Is it free agency? I didn't think it started till the 12th.
It officially starts tomorrow, but the tampering period is like they're allowed to talk to these guys
and make verbal.
And follow, yeah, like they're verbally. Everyone has agreed. Like if you see in the notification, verbally both sides have agreed to a contract.
Gotcha.
They can't sign anything and make it official until tomorrow, I believe.
Well, that was my original plan until I couldn't get the equipment out here for this first episode. Was going to be, hey, record an episode before free agency starts.
Yeah.
And then have a different guest on and see, hey, what the heck happened for free agency. But now there's been a tampering period. I was in the gym, walked out, I saw DK Metcalf got traded for $150 million. I'm like, well, shoot, that's my plan ruined because there's no surprise in that anymore, you know?
Yeah. That was rough seeing that. I was sitting there playing Xbox and get the ESPN. DK Metcalf. For a, second round pick?
For a second round pick in this year's draft.
Oh my. If I would have known it was that easy, you know what? I'm not a general manager. I can't act like I know better, but like, come on. A second round pick for arguably a top 10 receiver in the league. Maybe not last year, but when this guy's healthy and he's playing good, he's up there. I don't know. The Steelers' offense could be scary next year. If they address their needs in the draft, what? Because who's their quarterback?
Their needs a quarterback. They keep talking to so many young quarterbacks in the draft right now. Me personally, I wish they would have stayed with Wilson at least one more year, or Fields one more year, just to say at least build something off of that.
Yeah.
Because Wilson didn't do that bad.
Wilson didn't do bad. I still think they should have stuck with Fields the entire season. That kid was undefeated until Wilson came in.
Yeah.
Like
it was very close games, I will say that.
Close
Wilson
games,
made
but
it.
like,
I think he either lost the game by so much or he won the game so much. Fields would be able to squeak out a win by a field goal every single time. So, I mean, I guess they just wanted security to say, hey, we want to win by a lot of points and not have it come this close.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. But if I'm going to be honest, they need to address who's going to throw DK the ball. Because this is the same thing with Pickens when they put him at wide receiver 1. They're like, oh, my God, he can make all these spectacular catches. Yeah, but he didn't have someone to throw him the ball. Yeah. He had Justin Fields, couldn't throw him the ball. Wilson was able to get him to throw the ball, but he didn't do anything. This is what Pittsburgh offense is. You run the ball 2 or 3 times, and then you just chuck a Hail Mary down there, and you blame certain people.
Yeah, I don't know. Where are they even picking at in the draft this year? Low 20s? 23?
It's 21st, I think, because they made playoffs and was a first-round exit.
Yeah, so
It just doesn't make any sense.
Draft either. Like,
no, you're basically just praying one of those guys just goes down the entire. Yeah, they're 21st.
Yeah, I don't know. The only QB that I could see like decently being available, Jackson Dart out of Ole Miss. I don't know. People aren't talking about him. I think he can be good.
They talked to him. That's what apparently there was things that they really liked Dart. at the not the combine, but they were having some conversations
Yeah.
with him. But I just doubt that he falls the whole way to 21st.
But that's the thing. I don't see that many other QB needy teams. Like we've got Tennessee. They're willing to trade out of the first pick, is what is being rumored right now. Like the Giants could easily come up, but like I don't know. And Cleveland possibly.
Cleveland will be looking for someone because they traded for Kenny Pickett. So
And they might be bringing in Kirk Cousins whenever tampering period ends and officially starts tomorrow. I saw something about that today.
So they're not keeping Deshaun Watson for
They
the Browns.
restructured. Well, Watson wouldn't be able to play next season because he ruptured his Achilles again, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, he's still hurt?
Yeah, he ruptured his Achilles week 4 or 5, I think.
I remember it being
past
week
season.
4 or 5 because I remember it being a massive headline where it's saying Browns fans were so upset they just started cheering when he got hurt
Yeah.
because he was doing so bad.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't be. I mean, that was a whole thing, a different discussion where it was basically bottom line, you shouldn't do that, no matter who it is.
You don't
Now,
want to wish injury on someone.
no, exactly. And even though he wasn't doing good, you still don't want to do that.
Yeah.
They brought in Jameis Winston, yeah.
Yep, brought him in from New Orleans.
He did pretty good. I saw that. I think he got traded somewhere. I don't. He's not in Cleveland anymore. I think someone else picked him up.
I don't know. I didn't see that.
But I think they'll be looking for someone because if Kenny Pickett's their number 2, they can't plan for Deshaun Watson staying at number 1.
Yeah.
At this point, you just gotta let the guy go. It was just a poor management decision.
I mean, yeah, but you gave that guy so much money. They just restructured his contract so they can try and pay some guys this offseason and bring in, but like...
Well, they redid their whole line.
They did?
They brought in 3 guys, one from Atlanta who was a big name, and then they brought in 2 other different guys where the Bears... Oh, no, I'm sorry, the Bears. I'm thinking of the Bears now.
Yeah, didn't the Bears get, something Fries, Will Fries or something from the Colts?
Yeah, they got someone from the Colts and they got someone from Atlanta where now their entire O-line is now built around Caleb Williams.
Yeah, which I don't know. I don't think Caleb Williams is that good in the first place. Like, I don't know. That's not my team.
He's got talent. I don't know if he's got they always call it Mahomes magic or whatever
People
that
were saying
kid
he's
is.
a generational talent. If we're calling every quarterback out of the draft every year now generational talent, it has no meaning. Like,
Yeah, if you go first round, you're generational talent. It's the same.
Apparently.
It's the same thing with Travis Hunter. Yes, he's great. He might be generational talent, but you can't say any of that until he's 2 years in the league.
Exactly. Like, I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited for what this next season has. I think there's a lot of top end guys that could get drafted high, like Abdul Carter out of Penn State. I think he's a freak athlete. I mean, played DN for 1 season and got 11 sacks in the regular season, I think, and ended up getting 4 more in the playoffs.
Yep.
He's just had an insane college career, and I think that'll only translate immensely into the NFL. Like, whoever gets it, I think they're getting a dog. Cam Ward out of Miami, he's all right. I don't know. I don't know if Tennessee's going to trade that pick or not. I could see New York Giants jumping up, drafting Travis Hunter, and then maybe taking a QB in the second round.
I remember that. I think it was either week 17 or 18 where who was their backup quarterback after Daniels? Was it Locke?
Yeah, it was Drew Lock.
Yeah, Drew Lock came in, dropped 40 or 50 points, and all the fan base was upset because they were trying to tank for the number 1 pick, and he decided to play his heart out, which was good because he showed, hey, he's a decent quarterback because Daniels is now with the Colts. He signed
just signed today, I think.
Yeah, well, it was 1 year. I think it was $5 million. I mean, I don't know if he's worth $5 million, but
we'll see. I mean, 1 year, $14 million. Actually,
yeah, he's
So
definitely
even
not
worse.
worth $14 million.
And then they've still got Anthony Richardson. He's ready to compete with him, though. I guess.
I think Anthony Richardson will start over him during Jaden Daniels. No, not Jaden Daniels.
I don't think the locker room likes Anthony Richardson. After he tapped out of the game last year, I don't think he's gonna want to. No one wants to play for that guy.
No. Maybe he does something this offseason that gets him a little bit more of a reputation, but it's also because Flacco's on the Colts.
No, Flacco's a free agent right now.
Well, I know he is right now, but I'm talking about last season.
Oh, okay.
Just looking at the two play, it was a no-brainer to start Flacco, no matter how old he is, because Anthony Richardson, I guess the way he played is what people described to me was he would just run around and just fling the ball up the field to see if someone could catch it. Like who's the receiver? It's not Pierce.
Pittman.
Yeah.
Pittman, yeah.
And he would just fling it up there and just hope he caught it. Well, Flacco actually had some ball knowledge, so he would just be able to make a play happen. But other than that, yeah.
Something about Joe Flacco, man. Love that guy.
Why'd they give him away? He was too old? Is it Tom Brady story?
No, he was definitely regressing towards the end of his time with the Ravens. 2018, he got hurt. I think it was concussion that put him out. And then Lamar goes in.
I keep forgetting Lamar was
Since then,
got in from there.
He's been tearing up the league. And I don't know. I can see the Ravens bringing him back, though, honestly. I can see them bringing Flacco back, be QB2, let him retire here. Because he still wants to play football.
Yeah.
So I don't blame him if he goes somewhere else. But I think that would be a cool story if he came back to Baltimore.
Man, as soon as I saw he went to the Browns, I was hoping he had a Tom Brady story. Patriots gave him up because of his old age and just said, yeah, we don't want you anymore. You're too old. Goes to the Browns, wins a championship.
Browns?
Well, that's where he originally went to, because this was 2 years ago before the Colts signed him.
Flacco.
Flacco,
geez.
yes.
I thought you were talking Brady still.
No. But I was hoping he had a Brady story.
Okay, yeah.
Tom Brady, because of his age, the Patriots didn't want to renew his contract, so he went to Tampa, won a championship with Gronk. I was hoping he did something with Amari Cooper. That would have been the best feeling ever.
No, because then that would mean the Browns won a Super Bowl. I don't think the world would want that.
No, I don't think anybody wants that, to be honest with you. Seeing how their fan base treated everybody else. Yeah, do you think there's gonna be any more massive moves this free agency?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is me as a Ravens fan just talking, but I'm hoping they go out right now. They're setting it up. Like it looks like they're gonna go trade for Jair Alexander from Green Bay, cornerback.
Yep.
They just released Arthur Mullet today. Re-sign Patrick Card, sign DeAndre, but I'm hoping they're freeing up room. Maybe trade our second round pick, go get Jair. Louisville buddies with Lamar. They were teammates.
Yeah.
Drafted same year. Like, I think that would be cool because we need help on the back end. Like, our secondary was getting torched.
Yeah.
So we also have no pass rush. Mm-hmm. If we're not getting pressure on the quarterback, guys can't guard for 10 seconds. Like, it's
impossible.
Yeah.
They can't keep doing that a whole 60-minute game either.
When your biggest threat on the pass rush is Kyle Van Noy, he's had a great year. He's been coming back, but that's just not viable. You can't go with that for multiple years. You need a guy that can go out there and attack the quarterback.
Yeah. Another thing I saw in the NFL last year was defenses have just gone downhill. Mm-hmm. And again, this is the same thing where it's not the 20th century anymore. They're not playing rough football anymore where everything's just getting called.
Yeah.
Defensive basically like, all right, you can't stop a Lamar Jackson down the field because he can just run all over the place. It's the same thing with Mahomes. You can't tackle him when he's running because it seems like this whole roughing the passer thing, this whole other type of BS is going on. And defense have just given up at this point. It's just entirely offense. That's why games are so high scoring now. It's not not a couple years ago, maybe 5-10 years ago when the max score would probably be 30 to something.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl was 40 to 22.
Yeah, I don't know. They do so much to protect players now, I guess you could say, and it just makes it harder to play defense. It seems like every year they're adding in a new rule where you can't touch this guy then, there, where they're at. Like, it's dumb. Like, just let them play.
Let them play. Now, I guess they got to have favorites. I don't care if you're talking about MLB, NFL. They got favorites in the league because they bring in the most viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was definitely, like, I don't know. Like, the whole Chiefs thing this year was insane. Seeing them get blown out in the Super Bowl was...
If you weren't a Chiefs fan, you were just rooting for Philly. It didn't matter what you were.
Yeah. I can't stand Philly fans. I think those people... I don't want to say scum of the earth.
Very loud.
They're very loud, very obnoxious and rude. And, like, you're setting your own city on fire when you're winning a Super Bowl. What type of celebration is that? Like,
Hey man,
I
they're
don't
excited.
know.
They're excited to win something.
But just if I saw the Chiefs three-peat, I don't know. There's just something about the Chiefs I don't like. I can't stand watching them.
I think it's because they started to get a little bit too cocky. I actually don't mind Mahomes. I think he's one of the greater athletes. When people started comparing him to Brady, I'm like, dude, Tom Brady has crushed my dreams multiple times. It doesn't matter what team you root for. I keep going back to Brady because I think he's the greatest all time in football.
I don't think anyone. I don't think many people would disagree with you on that.
No, and it's just Chiefs fans would just say Mahomes or any.
I don't care
Any
how
9-year-old.
many rings Mahomes ends up with. He can get 10 in his lifetime. Whenever he played Brady in the playoffs and the Super Bowl, he has lost him every single time.
Didn't he lose by 40-9 or something like that?
In the Bucks Chiefs Super Bowl in 2020,
Yeah, I don't know if it was that
It was
dramatic
like-
of a score,
it was-
but it was the.
it was a whooping.
Yeah, it was
I
a
can tell you
whooping.
that. Mahomes couldn't do nothing. He was running for his life. I'll give him that. He could not. He couldn't catch a break. His offensive line was really bad that year, but I don't know, man. Like, if you're comparing the two head to head, Mahomes got whooped. He
Mahomes got
straight up lost every single time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get how you can say that guy's better than the other guy. Which, yes, Mahomes isn't going up against Brady himself. He's going against
Gronk. He's
Buccaneers.
going up against Gronk. He's going up against was it White, their running back that year? Rashad White?
I don't know for sure, but it was Leonard Fournette.
Oh,
But
it was
I'm saying,
Fournette
like,
that year.
I'm saying Mahomes isn't going straight up head to head against Brady.
No.
He's going against their defense. He's not
Of
going
course.
against Tom. Tom's not going out there and playing corner and covering Tyreek Hill that year. It's
Exactly.
Carlton Davis, I'm pretty sure, Jamel Dean, whoever was on the roster that year, Antoine Winfield. Those are who Mahomes is playing against. So, like, I guess you can make that argument whenever you're comparing head to head. Like, yes, it's a team game, but guess what? The team with Tom Brady on it won. So,
Yeah.
end of the story. That's how I think about it. But there's always those people that are like, they weren't playing each other. They were playing each other's defenses. So,
It's so interesting because we're going to end up sounding like a broken record because every single other show does the whole like who's the GOAT kind of thing. It's funny because everybody goes back to MJ and LeBron. That's the biggest GOAT debate ever because
LeBron.
you say LeBron, I don't even know. I don't even know who to choose because I look at LeBron James dropping 40, but I knew when Michael Jordan just in his prime would just probably destroy LeBron at any probably in his year. But I know LeBron's so good because he's known it for so long. So I couldn't give you an answer. Like I truly couldn't because I think they're both great. But it's so interesting because Mahomes and Brady played against each other, so you could automatically see, oh yeah, this guy won.
Compare them.
Yeah, exactly. This guy won against this guy, beat the crap out of him for that matter, and you can say, oh yeah, he's better than him.
Yeah,
Sure
Jordan was on his way out when LeBron was coming in.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure Jordan retired, I don't even know when, early 2000s with
03, 03 or 4 or something.
Yeah, with the Wizards, I'm pretty sure. Or
Yeah.
The Magic.
Or someone like
I don't
that.
know. He was with some random team, at obviously the end of his career. And LeBron's just getting drafted in 03 by Cleveland. Like, it's two different times that they're playing, and like you gotta think.
We'll
Jordan-
never know the answer.
Yeah,
Is the real case.
Supposedly, there's film out there where they played in a head-to-head game whenever LeBron was like 16, but we'll never see that footage. I can promise you.
Oh, well, we'll never see that footage, but it's also the other point where it's say if LeBron was only 16, that's why he lost to Jordan. He was so young. And it's like, well, yeah, but like it's just we'll never know the answer to it.
Yeah, I think that's just something. I don't know.
People need to realize that. Like they keep saying this GOAT debate, and it's like, dude, you'll never get the answer. You'll always get, because LeBron keeps playing, obviously, you always get like, oh, he just won another champion. Oh, he just won another MVP. He just won another one. But you'll never be able to definitively say who.
It's two different eras, two different times. Like you can't compare them.
Yeah.
Like and the rings, I think the rings debate is the stupidest thing. The rings is not what makes a player great. Because if you're doing that, MJ said it himself. Bill Russell has 11, MJ has 6, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Does that mean Bill Russell's the best
No,
player?
and I think it does have a little bit of a factor because it's like, okay, did they win against a Magic Johnson?
Yeah.
Now Bill Russell played against
Jerry West.
Jerry West. That was the only guy I could probably name in that time
Jerry
period.
West, Wilt Chamberlain, I think, a little bit.
He might, of course, the other, how many teams are in the
30?
30. Of course, he's going to win against the other 27 teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course he's going to get a shot for 11 rings.
Yeah.
Now, again, you're saying it's 2 different timelines, 3 different timelines, or whatever. It's not the same. I will say that I did say this to another one of our friends. I said, if LeBron wins another ring at his age, I'll call him the GOAT. With 5 at 40, like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And there's the whole thing about, like, LeBron's been to more finals than MJ has, or has lost more. Like,
that was the other thing. He's been swept.
He's playing.
He's been swept in the finals multiple times.
Yes, that's true. But, like, if you compare the teams that he's playing against to his teammates that he has.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like,
I'm not disputing that. Like, oh, of course they were going to get swept between who he had and then who he was going against. I'm not
like the best players that MJ ever played against in the finals. I think was Magic Johnson. I think that was the best player he's ever played against. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's just I'm trying to think. Who did they?
Barkley was on one of them. Karl Malone was in I think 2 of the series, his last 2, and that like 6 championships he had. Who was his first one? Because this is the most generic thing. I'm going to sound like the most generic sports person ever. Seen The Last Dance, and it's literally all they kept talking about for most of MJ's career was Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
But they would never talk about the finals. They would always try to focus on, like, he lost to Isaiah Thomas because he had this person, and it was just like there was beef between them. They kind of ignored the fact that it wasn't until Jordan's double-digit season that he was in the NBA that he finally got to the finals.
Yeah.
So.
Because he was drafted 84, I think. And then
yeah, he never made it till 91.
He didn't make it until like 90. Yeah, 91.
Exactly.
92.
Yeah.
Then he went 91, 92, 93.
Skip 94, 195, 196 was their best year, and then 97 was their final one because it was the whole dispute between management. I remember that.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's...
Yeah. It's just one of those where it will never be answered.
No, yeah. It's impossible. You'll never get a good one. You'll never satisfy the right people. Like, you can never end the GOAT debate, I feel like.
No.
Which is good in some capacity. Like, people are arguing, I guess is the term, but I don't know. It's discussion, and it keeps people interested in the sports and comparing athletes. So.
Yeah. Now, I'll ask you one final thing because we probably got to wrap this up. You got to get going or do something else. But college football, right? We saw last year, first time doing 12-team, no.
12, yeah, this past season, first ever 12-team playoff.
12-team playoff. I think it did all right.
I liked it. I
enjoyed it. I definitely do not think that they should have kept only the 2 games and then you got the national championship where it was only 4 teams.
Yeah,
I thought that was dumb after I saw what happened between Florida State and Alabama that year. That was it was dumb, right?
It's terrible. Like
it never made sense to me why there's only 4 teams in it, right? Because there's we saw in college football 25, there's massive amount of teams. There's more than,
and those are just the ones that they got the rights to use. Like,
exactly.
But I think that's what makes it hard. Like, you have to choose the 12 best teams out of a whole country of D1 colleges.
Exactly.
Which is what makes it hard. Like, I don't think there's ever going to be a right way unless you simply, like, you go the NFL route.
Yeah.
You make an NFC, AFC type of conference. And then you have subdivisions like the Big Ten.
Everybody's
SEC.
in it. It's North, South, East, West.
Like,
kind of thing.
I don't think there's ever going to be a good way to choose who gets in those playoffs whenever you're picking from an entire country.
I think they did an all right job choosing the teams this year. The only problem is when I was looking at it, I think, me personally, that they should do a 8-team playoff. Because what we saw is, of course, they had the bye weeks.
Yep.
Top 4 teams got bye weeks and everything like that. And then I can't remember which teams it was, but they got blown out.
Yeah, there was no upset.
There was no upset in the first round. Whoever had the higher seed was clearly the better team. Yep. And I think mostly how they chose the 12 teams was based off record. If you were how many?
Record
13-0?
I think they play. 12 or 13 games.
I think it's
and
12 or
like
13
2 or 3
games.
bye weeks or something.
Yeah. So the team was going 13-0 or 12-1 and 11-2, whatever the heck. They obviously made it. I do not think they should do it off record from what I saw from the first round, because
there's so many factors that go into it.
Yeah.
Strength of schedule as well. Like
that's what I saw, because I think I saw something on the news where it was, hey, they did it mostly off record just to see that it was the easiest thing to do this year. And then a bunch of people complained about it because they were watching, this team went 13-0 or 13-0, but you got to look at who they were playing. I mean, I'm going to use Organics, for example. They played a bunch of Big Ten teams. They played a bunch of good teams, and then they were 12-1. They were good for a reason. They deserved the bye week and stuff. The bye week that year, right? I can't remember what team got blown out. There was one team that got blown out this year, and they went 12-1, but they played a bunch of nobodies.
who's
I might pull it up again. I need Jamie. Maybe I'll get one of our friends to do it. Because I remember ESPN talking about how they were complaining about how they can't have these 12 teams just based off go records because people were getting blown out.
Yeah, because like I know like people were saying I'd much rather watch a 9-3 Miami team go in the playoffs than whatever Arizona State was. Like I don't know. There's no way of pleasing people.
So I'll just take the Penn State game for example. Penn State versus SMU. SMU, I don't think they went 11th, but if I'm gonna look at their schedule right here, they didn't really play anyone. East Texas A&M, Baylor, they played TCU. Oh, this is 2025 schedule. Never mind, wrong one.
Either way, like what conference are they even in?
I couldn't tell you.
They're not SEC.
No, they're not one of those big conferences.
They're not Big 12.
Nevada, Houston Christian, they lost to BYU, won against TCU, Florida State. Florida State was not good this year.
No, Florida State was not good this year.
Stanford, Duke, Boston College, California, Virginia, and their 2 losses were against BYU and Clemson. Decent teams.
Yeah.
So they played a bunch of nobodies. They got 12th, and then they got blown out by Penn State, who was a number 3. No, not number 3. Number 6.
They were 5 or 6, I think.
They were 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's what they were complaining about. They said you can't make the playoffs and just play a bunch of nobodies. Yeah, you had a 12-2 record or 11-2 record, but you end up going against an Ohio State, a Penn State, a Notre Dame that year, an Oregon or everything. You're just gonna get blown out. Yeah. There's no point. I feel like they got to at least look at schedules. Obviously, look at how many wins you have, but you got to look at schedules first, and then you got to look at, okay, who are they going to play? You know what I mean? Because it's just not fair.
Yeah. Because like SMU's playing those nobodies, and then they get into their conference championship or whatever. Like,
I mean, you can look at it
Penn
too.
Penn State played Oregon in the Big Ten championship.
Yep, and I think they lost by only 1 or 2 scores, but they still.
That was a terrible game.
Yeah,
that was hard to watch. SMU, what conference are they in? They are in the ACC. So they played Clemson, I think.
Yeah,
and Clemson was almost going to get bounced from the playoffs because they lost that game to SMU.
Yeah,
and like I just think, what's the point in having conference championship and letting that team make it if losing in an extra game is going to hurt them while Ohio State sat at home for the week, but they were guaranteed the playoffs.
Exactly. And Clemson ended up playing Tennessee and getting blown out 40-14.
Let's check.
I get to the top. But that was the other thing I saw that the ESPN was talking about. All these games that were played, there was no upsets, but every single team that won by double digits. Yeah. It wasn't a one score or a touchdown and a field goal kind of game. It was just blown out, every single one of them.
Yeah, there wasn't close games until the second round, I guess. I don't think if you were favored in the first round, you won. Notre Dame beat Indiana, SMU lost to Penn State, Ohio State beat Tennessee, and Texas thumped Clemson 38-24.
Yeah.
And then second round, we have Texas and Arizona State. Texas only winning that game by 8. Ohio State just started getting hot, man. they were blowing people out left and right. They blow out Oregon 41-21.
Yeah.
Penn State blows out Boise State 31-14, and then Notre Dame beats Georgia 23-10. So that was the only upset, I guess, because Notre Dame was the 17, Georgia was the 2. But
Yeah.
other than that, like, if you were favored, Ohio State beat number 1 Oregon, but
Wasn't Ohio State third or second or?
Ohio State was 8
Oh, never mind.
because they didn't even make the conference championship.
Yeah, I remember that now.
So
Big Ten's also really hard to play
Big
against.
Ten's good now. Oregon joining, UCLA joined, USC joined.
Well, that was 14 teams right now, right?
I think it's not even.
It's not even 10 anymore.
10, yeah.
Yeah. I guess I can still keep the name. It still sounds cool.
Yeah, but I don't know.
So off the top of your head, who do you think's gonna win this year, or who do you think looks good?
Who's going for national championship?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be Ohio State again. Well, actually, no, because they're losing a bunch of players now this year.
I mean, yeah, but as much as I hate to say it, Jeremiah Smith and the rest of the roster they still have, Julian Sain's going to be the quarteback, I think, because Will Howard's
Will Howard's gone.
So they got young guys, and Jeremiah Smith, he's good at football.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. He is good at football, and he will torch anyone that covers him. Like, I don't see Oregon making it back. Oregon won't be nearly as good, I feel like.
No, they lost so many guys this year.
Penn State has a lot of returners.
Yeah.
I would love to say Penn State guy, but Franklin just needs to win the big ones, bro. He can't.
He can make it. He can make it through the regular season. He just his one job. That was what they were talking about with Ohio State, with Ryan Day. They were saying, "Hey, listen, if you don't win a national championship, your job's on the line because your one job. Because Ohio State's good enough to beat any team. Yeah, if you lose to Penn State, okay, sure.
Okay.
You lost to Michigan.
Yeah.
That was your one
Deeper.
job
Yeah.
was to beat Michigan, and that's all the organization cared about, and you lost."
Yeah.
Or is that's at least what the media made it out to
and
be.
then they were calling for his job.
Yeah, they were calling for his job as soon as he lost to Michigan.
And then, 3-4-0 in the playoffs and blow out national, or not blow out national.
It was 34-23, so
But
it wasn't that
It was
much a blowout.
It was
but
pretty bad in the first half.
Yep.
But
Notre Dame made a comeback. They could
Yeah.
have made a comeback and won that thing, but they choked at the
I don't
last
see
minute.
Notre Dame being that good next year.
Boise State won't be back.
Boise State, I think
They're losing
this
Genty,
is the
and
first
that's
and
it.
last time we will hear Boise State.
They're losing. They're losing Genty, and then that's it. That's all she wrote.
I don't see much happening with them anymore.
I think Georgia might be going downhill a little bit.
Colorado's gonna fall off.
Colorado's gone because
Bama might be able to pull something out of their whatever.
well, they didn't make it this year, did
They
they?
didn't make it this
No.
year, but who knows what happens next year? Because they were also another team that people were like, they're 9-3. I'd much rather watch them in the playoffs than SMU or Clemson.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, that's what they were talking about. Record. They need to see who you're playing against, and this sort of thing. That's the other thing with college. I started watching college football last year, like seriously, and started playing the game. I loved the game for the first 3 weeks, just like Madden. Then I quit at it because it just gets annoying. About the guy just sitting there at his desk for 12 hours buying everything. But I started watching it, and I realized the first few couple games they pay smaller teams to just blow them out.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that they could do that. I thought that was a bunch of
those-
crap.
They have to play like their certain number of conference or league games, and then whatever holes they've got, they usually pay a smaller school like $1 million or something to come in and. Hey,
Was it Akron that played Alabama? Or no, it wasn't Alabama, but they played a big school.
It was some great school versus Eastern Michigan or something.
Exactly.
Lets them come in, blow them out 52-10. I think it was Ohio State versus Eastern Michigan or something.
Yeah, just because they can.
And like, bam, you see 52-10 on a record, you're gonna be like, wow, that's nice. But then you also gotta think they're beating an FBS,
FBS
FCS
team or
They're
SCS.
an FCS team. Like, I don't know, it's just not as impressive.
Yeah, and that's that again. They can't just look at how many wins you have. You got to see who the heck they played.
Yeah.
Because, like you were saying, Alabama didn't make it because they had a 9-3 record. But shoot, I'd still like to see them play.
I would much rather
Williams
see Penn State versus
and
Alabama.
Who's the quarterback? Milton?
Ryan Williams and then Jalen Milroe.
Milroe. Oh God, I'm butchering every single person's name today. Jeez. Yeah, I would much rather see them. That guy's amazing.
Yeah. Williams is good. He's not same level as Jeremiah Smith. Beginning of the season, they were both off to a hot start, but Jeremiah Smith just kept going. He caught, 73, 75 passes for 1,300 yards and 15 touchdowns as a freshman?
Dude, that kid's the same age as us. What are we doing? Williams he's the same age as us.
Cooper Flagg, same thing. He's about to be the first overall pick in the draft next year for the NBA. Like,
he's our age, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? We gotta get out. If that guy can do it, we can do it. I can tell you that right now. Put me out there with a helmet.
We gotta get you on the court. We gotta see you dunk.
I'll get there.
Work on those plyos.
Yeah, I gotta start doing plyos or anything like that. Yeah, but I mean that's all we have for today, at least on my list of things to do. We just talked about everything. I'm curious to see. March Madness is starting up soon.
I'm excited for that. I think March Madness is gonna be crazy this year.
It's crazy every year.
I mean, yeah, but I think this year's gonna be a fun one. I can't wait to be sitting in that ISS room and have it sitting up on my phone. I'm sure I could convince Mr. Bear to let me put it up on the TV.
I'm sure I can convince Mrs. Klopper, our teacher for Content Creator 2, to put it up on the TV. Because, I mean, we did all through middle school. We put up on Smartboard.
I remember freshman or sophomore year, we had a substitute for Algebra 2 one day. And I think, who was it? I think it was it might have been Mr. Moon or something. And he let us airplay it onto the TV. And we were working on our packet and we were watching Gonzaga going against someone. And it was awesome.
It was awesome.
And yeah, March Madness is always a fun time. I'm excited for this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think Duke or Auburn wins it all this year, but we'll see. We'll see those upsets.
Oh, don't tell Mr. Martin that. He might say you jinxed it.
I'm going to say that directly to Mr. Martin.
You say it directly to his face and just jinx it right in his face. Yeah. Oh, I did have one other thing I wanted to talk about. You, around our school, at least in Greencastle and Antrim, were, I'd like to say, a big name for our kind of student section during the football games or basketball games. Uh-huh. You were just the guy that did say, like, hey, here's the cheers, or maybe that went to someone else throughout the year. Did you like that role of being that person?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, it definitely had its ups and downs this season. Got a lot of backlash for certain things and not doing certain things, but
that's gonna come with everything.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what person.
Like, I don't know. People just didn't want to watch the game. Like, I'm sitting there, I'm watching the game. Like, I definitely got too involved. I think sometimes, like, I would just lock in on the game. And maybe I wouldn't be paying attention to something. Yeah. And some people would be like, why didn't you say anything? I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm watching the game. Like, I care more about the game. But it was fun. Like, I enjoy doing it, and I love supporting. Like, the main thing is, I could care less about win or lose. I just love going out there, watching my friends play, supporting them. And, like, that's why you see me at every football game, almost every basketball game. I'm hoping to go to a bunch of these baseball games. And, I don't know, just supporting the people that I call my closest friends was the best part about it. And I mean, being able to lead the student section was an added bonus. Yeah,
exactly. And it was just also something to do.
Yeah.
It was also something to be a part of. I had fun. Towards the end of the year, teams started to slow down because I blame it on mostly a bunch of injuries just happening throughout the season, which for at least our team.
3 ACL tears this season?
3 ACL tears. There was
broken fingers.
Yeah, broken fingers and every other player. It just no one else was 100%, but I still had fun going to every game. In the future, will I drive 2 hours for an away game? Like, looking back, should I have drove 2 hours for an away game at a random high school? No. But it was still fun to do.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll miss it. I'll definitely miss it. I don't know. It's a different experience just being in the student section and sitting there with your friends and just watching
a live game.
Yeah.
Now, last thing I would say before I go to anybody listening from our high school, would you have any advice for people in the student section for future reference? Like, hey, show up for these things. Show up.
Oh my gosh! Like, I get you have your problems with whatever was happening, but like, so come out and support the school. Like last year, we were filling up the basketball student section to the back of the wall or the entire bleachers.
I remember that.
We were getting 5 rows this year. Like, yes, the team wasn't as good, and we went to the second round of states last year. Like,
yeah.
All right, I don't care if our record is 500, come out and support your school. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just don't sit at home.
Yeah, don't sit at home. Like, that's what bothered me. And then, like, people would complain. I'm like, dude, we have no one here. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard to feel
tough cheer.
motivated and want to do something whenever there's, like, 2 people that are going to do it. And, like, watching the games whenever we did have people, it was still hard to get people to get involved. I would start a cheer, get some response. Half the people in the back never even acknowledge what was happening. Like, people just show up and talk, and they don't actually want to watch the game and be engaged. So that was my only issue, and that would be my biggest advice. Show up and just, I don't know.
Do you have anything else? I would say to people, like, not try to think of better themes, but don't always go down the route of the same things as last year.
Yeah.
Because it is hard to do something new, and if something works, it really freaking works. But if you were going to talk about anything, I'd be like, dude, do an engaging theme, because that's what drove people to some of those football games, just to dress up for a theme.
Yeah.
Some people went all out for those games.
Yeah, and then we like, there was always, like, I don't know, you can't please everyone. Like, there were some games where I was told there was some good theme, and then there was others that was like, it was just awful. I got 50-50 responses from a lot, and it's just, I don't know, I kind of gave up at that point. I just stopped caring. I don't know.
Yeah, we still have fun at the games, though.
Yeah,
of course.
But,
yeah. Well, it's always fun to watch friends and stuff like that, and then the student section. I mean, for me, I always like to watch the game. Sometimes I like to talk to the person next to me, but I'm just like you. I'm locked into the game. I'm locked in my friends playing.
Yeah.
It's not a lot. I know I get for a lot of people, it's like kind of like a social hour kind of thing. Oh, it's the theme. Did you kind of dress up for it? I was locked in on those games.
Yeah, I just wanted to watch. Like,
Yeah.
I care less about what was happening anymore, especially after the first couple of games. Like, I was ready to watch football and have fun. Like, I could sit and watch a high school football game, even if it is Greencastle football, and we're getting blown out by 20 every game. I can sit there and watch that in complete silence.
Exactly.
For the rest of my life.
Yeah. You think you'll come back? I guess not out of your
God.
way. No, not to the student section, but they go support younger students.
I'll probably come, like, I'll be in the area next year for college. Like, I'll still live close, so I'll come back for senior night or something.
Yeah.
I'm not going to come back for every game. I think that's...
You'll be in Shepherd, correct?
Yeah, I'll probably go to Shepherd, so I'm not trying to live in Greencastle still. I want to branch out. I definitely do not want to be a certain person that just shows up to every home game still and doesn't leave high school.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
You don't want to be that type of person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I chose Penn State as my college finally. I'm excited to go just do something new. And it's a far enough drive away where I can say, hey, if I want to come home for just some random weekend, I could. Yeah. Just for fun. But will I? Probably not. Maybe because obviously Tim, my younger brother, is going to be playing. He's junior and senior year. Maybe I'll come down for a few Friday night games or something like that if I got time. But, it'll be fun. All right, well, I will thank you. I'll shake your hand right here. No one can see it, but thank you for coming on the episode. And
appreciate you having me.
Yeah, no problem. I'd like to have you on at some other time. Maybe it's a bigger group.
Let's get that going. Let's get a big group going and see how that goes. Let's do a debate.
A debate. We could have 3 or 4 people on this thing. I feel like it would.